So the floorboards are out, and I just give it a good scrub using a degreaser and a lot of elbow grease. But everything came fairly clean. So we ran into a little bit of galvanic corrosion from the dissimilar metals of the stainless steel and the aluminum of the boat. As you can see right there, there's a little bit of corrosion. So what I'm doing is I'm hitting it with the stainless steel wire wheel, putting some iodine on it, and then doing some self-etching primer, and that's it. This is what it looks like after I hit it with the stainless steel wire wheel. Just finished up the dry fit for this 21-foot Northriver Seahawk. I'm putting Thermolite flooring in here, 3/4 inch. Got it down in Portland. I have a minimum of a 16-inch or 1/16 of an inch gap in here. I'm gonna Duraback line these. I got some cutouts in the back for floor drains. I'm gonna put some covers over those. Cut out the fish box. The other fish box. Here's the lid. I'm not done with the lid yet, but fits right in there. Just finished up the bi-folding door for the fish box. These handles are flush mount, so they had to be routed into the Thermolite. These will be through fasteners through those. And the hinge was a pain in the ass. Obviously I'm missing some fasteners. I just want to make sure everything worked right. Have to be through fasteners. They can't be just screws. So everything fits, everything works, which is great. So the Thermolite panels have all been prepped. I used compressed air, blew them all off. Then I used this xylene, and wiped them all down. That's in prep for this Duraback 18 that I'm gonna be rolling on 2 coats. Roll one coat on, wait a couple hours until it dries, and then you add your second coat. I'm only doing one side of the edges. I'm only doing the edges one time, is what I meant. So 2 coats of Duraback equals a 1/16 of an inch. So I laid my panels out accordingly on the boat. So all right, so it's been about 20 hours since I applied the 2 coats of Duraback. You can see that's what it looks like. Rubbery texture. Here's the fish box lid that I just put together. You can see the way I put it together with those nuts, those weird nut thingies, and then I just ground off the bolt. It is an odd texture. It's like rubber. I think that it's made from rubber tires. I thought I read that somewhere. So the first coat, when it goes on, it looks like shit. So don't freak out if you're doing it. And then after you let it dry for about 2 hours, that's how long I let it dry for.
Then you put the second coat on, and then that's when it really takes its Duraback 18 look, I guess. So it is got kind of a shine to it, but I'm sure that'll fade away pretty quick after a couple times out on the boat. So as you can see, I added some floor structure. I was really not wanting to do this, but it ended up being fairly easy. And I just didn't want to put it all back together and have that flexing of the floor and then have to take it all back apart and then put these braces in, so I just went ahead and did it. And it only cost me maybe like 180 bucks or whatever, maybe 200 altogether to do it. As you can see how I did it. These are tapped into the boat. These are just, there's a nut, a nylon nut on the other side. All the aluminum that I cut it with a chop saw and a new blade, like a fine tooth finish blade, and some WD-40 on the blade. I alodined the end of all the aluminum pieces that I cut to prevent corrosion. I Loctited everything in. I used nylon nuts, and I put Lanacoat on all the fasteners to prevent corrosion. That's where you can see this stuff right here. That's Lanacoat. This stuff right here prevents corrosion from dissimilar metals. And what I'm going to do now, before I put the panels in, is give everything a bath in Corrosion XD. Corrosion X XD. Anywhere below the floorboards is getting coated in this. And then I'm gonna fasten everything down. So that's the plan. All right, so we just finished up with the Thermolite flooring. Got everything reinstalled. Turned out pretty good. Added the floor drains in the back. Here's the fasteners the original fasteners that came with the boat. Then I just added those little washer thingies. Here's the fish box, which I had to kind of modify a little bit. Let's see, flip it up. That's what the fasteners look like. The gaps that I started with, or that I ended with, I guess, with a 1/16 of an inch with the dry fit. They ended up being a little bit too big for one coat of Duraback, so I had to put 2 coats of Duraback on the panel edges, so FYI. There's still a little bit of a gap in there, but can't get much closer. Floor drains. Yeah, so I'm happy. It was a lot of work, but I did it myself, so yeah. All right. The end.